This is a setup video on the Okamoto 818 surface grinder. I'm doing a side grind. Well, it's the side of a cavity block, so it's actually just a simple flat surface grind. I'm squaring the block up though. I have this 6" by 6" Hermann Schmidt magnetic squaring chuck up here, and then two 1, 2, 3 blocks on either side. And I'll get into this later, but this is just some shim stock to compensate for some warpage that happened through the heat treatment process. So this is my block right here that I'm gonna grind. I already pre-staged them. I had 25 of them, so I went through them. Took about an hour, but I measured with a dial indicator the flatness over the block, and some of them came out pretty good, some of them came out pretty bad. This one sort of in between. It was 2 thousandths out. Well, it was actually around 4 thousandths, but what I did is I split the difference on each side of the block. So we're gonna shim this corner up 2 thousandths, and it's gonna, you know, kick the block up, and it'll make it straighter than what it would have been if I had just thrown it up there and not done anything. So I'm gonna set the camera down and do the setup. So this is a Arkansas stone, just a little one I've had for a minute. I just run it across the face of this squaring chuck to make sure there's no burrs. I'm not really looking to take any material off. It's just to give me peace of mind to know that there's nothing in there that's going to hurt my setup. I also cleaned it. I made sure all the dust is off there, sprayed it down with rubbing alcohol prior to me stoning it, so there's no grease, and it's clean. These have been cleaned off as well and stoned, and the shim stock was wiped off and placed down there, so I know that there's nothing under there. This is my cavity block I'm going to set up. See the 2000 shim, that's where it's going. I stone the back of this real quick with the Arkansas stone just to make sure there's no burrs there or dings, which there's not. It's very nice and smooth. I degrease this with alcohol as well. And so basically, set it up there. Make sure to place it slowly so I don't hit it hard or ding it at all. And then I just let it sort of drop down, get a little bit of a surface tension suction, sort of like you're ringing up a Joe block. And then I'll work it up and down. Seems to be going pretty good. Wiggle it side to side. And then I just hold it, lock it down with my hex wrench here. I gotta watch out for the wheel, it's on right now. There. So that's it. I'm flat here. I'm gonna install my splash guard. Make sure my coolant nozzle is tightened in there. It's about where it was at for the last setting. I'm gonna come over here. It's the same program I've been running. I'm taking off 11 thousandths and 6/10. That's just the average of what I got per side. You can see it comes in, turns the coolant on, starts grinding. We're gonna see if it's a little high here. It may touch off in a second. Yep, it's a little high. I mean, it's running through the scale right now. These cavities have a bark on the outside of them from the heat treat process, and that's the nasty bit, but once it gets through that, it's going to sound a lot better. Right now it's not stepping over very much, only 10 thousandths of an inch. That's because I have my feed rate override cranked down to 10%. So I crank that up 30%. That looks about good. I'm gonna let it go through this first pass, 30,000 steps, and then I'll crank it back up to 100% override. And that's gonna give me 100,000 step over every time. And I'm only stepping down 3/10 of an inch every pass. So, as you can see, it's biting harder now. The spindle load's really not that high, it just sounds bad. Yeah, it's definitely grinding some. There we go, it's about the end. Crank it up to 100% and let it finish. It's gonna take about 30 minutes. And that's it. Oh. And this is the stack of what I've done already. It turned out nice. Surface finish, pretty good. It's a 46G wheel. These are the ones I have to do next. And these are all the 4th thou shims. So I'm gonna go through them and double check them again, make sure I didn't measure them wrong, but these need some extra love. That's why I saved them for the end of the process. That's about it. And then I check the squareness when I'm done with this squareness gauge. You can see we zero it out on our precision granite tri-square on our precision granite surface plate. It's a 4 foot by 6 foot, 8-inch thick. It's actually very nice. And that's it.